Morning, Ray. Ray turned around and saw it was his best friend Leo. Hey, Leo, what's up? Wow, you look tired. Did you even get any sleep last night? Uh, Not really. Let me guess. You were reading last night? Yeah, I was reading my new comic. I couldn't stop. It was so good. Leo, you know that you shouldn't read so much so that late, you know. At least save it for the weekends. Yeah, I know, but I couldn't wait. I mean, after all, I got the new comics yesterday, and it was just so good. Well, at least that you finished it, right? Yeah. But promise me, just don't do that again. You know that will affect your grades, and you know how the teachers are a little bit strict when it comes to sleeping in class. You got scolded last time, and even your parents got a call. You remember that? And you almost got grounded for almost 2 weeks for that. Well, that's now you mentioned that, yeah. I will make sure it doesn't happen again. Well, let's hope that. So, do we have any plans for today? Not really. Well, except have to be taking care of some chores at home, said said Ray. Then suddenly the bell started ringing. Oh, we should head out to reverse classes, said Ray. Yeah, I will see you in cafeteria later. Sure. Ray ran to his first class, which were math. But when he was in class, just before the teacher was about to start, there was a knock on the door, and there was a principal. Principal, what can I do for you? Well, we have a new student here today. A new transfer student, actually. And math is her first class, so I was personally want to bring her here so that you can introduce her to the class and hopefully a good start for her. Then he introduced her, and by letting her in, and it was a young girl around the same age. Her name was Macy. All the guys almost immediately looked at her. She was having long blonde hair, blue eyes. She was so beautiful. She was like if she could have been like a model or a princess. Everyone, this is Macy. She has actually been transferred to our school since her dad has been transferred to a company here in town. So, I want everyone here to welcome her as part of the school and make sure that she has a good time and, well, that's it. Well, I will let you continue your classes, so I won't interrupt anymore. So the principal left. After she introduced her a little bit of herself, she was sitting behind Ray, and the class went just normal. And even during cafeteria, during lunch break, Ray was sitting with his best friend Leo and Ryan, who is a close friend of his. And while they were enjoying their lunch, the topic of Macy came up. Have you guys heard about the new student? If you're referring to Macy, yeah, her. Have you seen her? Yeah, she was actually in my math class this morning. Wait, really? How's she like? Well, I didn't have any opportunity to talk to her, but she seems to be a nice girl. You know, outgoing, like yourself. Well, kinda. I mean, a lot of guys was actually looking at her and talking to her afterwards, but I didn't have the opportunity, he said. Well, maybe you have some time, said Leo. I mean, I did see her in the hallway myself when she was talking to some girls, and she seems to be a nice person. Well, who knows? I wouldn't be surprised when within time with some guy would actually start asking her out to be a girlfriend or something. That's not unlikely, said Ryan. But as they were just enjoying lunch, after school, Ray was actually living not that far from the school, so he just walked there. But before he was walking home, he heard a voice. And it was actually Macy. Oh, hey, Macy, what can I do for you? Well, Ray, I want to be able to ask you something. Sure. What is it? Do you have anyone special? If you're referring to like a girlfriend, no, I don't. Why do you ask? Well, do you want to be my boyfriend, maybe? She asked. Ray was a little bit surprised because he wasn't really expecting that to be asked. After all, they hadn't even known each other for not even less than a day. But she was smiling, but then he said, I'm afraid I have to say no. I am not interested in dating anyone right now. But I wouldn't mind to be your friend. Her smile faded away to almost a frown, but she nodded and said that she understood and left. With that, Ray didn't pay much attention to what happened afterwards. But he would have no idea what else was happening. When he came home, he took care of his chores and just relaxed. But the next day, when he came to school, things had changed. When he first showed up to school, he noticed that all the other students looked at him, and he was quite clueless what had happened. He even walked up to a classmate and asked what was the matter. But the guy never even say anything. He just almost ignored him. But all he said, how could he be such an idiot? Ray was really clueless. He had no idea what even happened. So he walked to his own locker and saw Leo. And he asked Leo, hey Leo, do you have any idea why everyone is just looking at me like that? I mean, I'm even trying to ask someone who about it, but they just told me how I could be such an idiot. But Leo had no idea either. Like he was like, your guess is best as mine, dude. Even I had no idea. But they would later be revealed, because during the day there was a rumor. Ray heard this rumor that he had called Macy stupid and ugly, which were the reason why everyone suddenly had turned their shoulders and had this cold attitude towards him. But everyone should know about this by him. He has never acted like this before. And he was really no idea why. And he tried to tell the others, some others at the school, about this was just a stupid rumor. It wasn't even true at all. But no one even listened to him at all. There were only a few people that who believed in him. And they didn't believe any of the rumors. It was like 5 people. We include Leo and Ryan. But despite this, he tried to convince the others at the school that this rumor was just that, a rumor, not even true. But despite how much effort he put in it, it didn't work out. But he thought maybe after a week or so, this rumor would eventually fade away and things would go back to normal. But after about a week, it didn't. In fact, still after just a week after Macy has spread this rumor, people still treated Ray with still such cold shoulder and cold attitude. They almost ignored him. The only ones who talked to him still were some of his close friends. But he was now tired of this. So when he saw that Macy was in the hallway during a break, he walked up to her and asked her calmly why she spread these false rumors in the first place. And then she said to him almost like a whisper, because it was because how he rejected her. That was the reason, because that he just said no to be her boyfriend, and that was the only reason because that she spread a rumor, he thought. When he asked her, could you simply tell the others that it isn't true? And she said again with a whisper. She wanted to see how it would be that for him to be the target. When he asked her if she could stop with his rumors and just simply tell the others that it isn't real. But then suddenly she started making these fake cries so loud. Some students actually saw this happen, and they quickly walked up to her, surrounded her so that Ray couldn't even get close to her. He tried to telling them that he wasn't he was just trying to talk to her, trying to make sense of these rumors. But they told him just to stop bullying her. She even said by faking on her cries how he was calling her some bad names and all that. But he tried to tell the others it wasn't true. But despite how much he tried to tell them, it was just nothing happened. And eventually the same day, another rumor started about Ray, and it spread so quickly like a wildfire into school. By the end of the day, every single student had heard about it. This time it was him calling her such bad names like she is so ugly that she would never find a boyfriend. But the only ones who still believed him was his close friends. But despite that, he tried to solve this by telling the other students neither the first or the second rumor was true. But despite it was just lies. But despite how much he tried to convince them, but it was futile. And he tried to tell them why. It's because she had asked him to be her boyfriend, which none of them did even believe either. Because why would she ask him to be her boyfriend when he said, I said no because they didn't believe her, they didn't believe him. So he just got tired of this. He was really on his last edge of what to do all this. Despite how many times he tried to solve this all, but it was without any success. Even that same afternoon, he was at home with his friend Angela, who was a close friend, also a childhood friend, who lived next door next to him. Ray told Angela that he is considered just dropping out of high school so the rumors could eventually stop. And considering that was one of the last options he had. But Angela, she's shocked. She told him not to do it. If he suddenly dropped out of high school, then Maisie wins. And that he should give her that to her. But he was on his last stage, as he told her. The entire school hates her except for a few friends. Yet, he even told his family about it, since there wasn't much they could do either about it. But he just wanted had all of this stopped. But despite how much he tried to convince the others at school, it didn't work out. But then Angela told him something. That she still believed that the rumors are just that, false. But then she told him something. Ray, I had to confess something to you. Oh, what is it? You know, we have been friends for so long, ever since elementary, right? Yeah. Well, I actually have been in love with you since then. And Ray was quite surprised and stunned. Well, to be honest, ever since middle school, I started to have some feelings for you, but it was just, I never took actions on those. I still like you very much. The reason why I never told you, or at least confessed, it was just because I didn't know how if it would if you felt the same way, and it's just that I didn't want to ruin our friendship. But if you're willing to be with someone like me, she nodded and she wanted to be with him. So they made their relationship as official. The same evening, after Angela again went home, she immediately called Leo to talk with him. Hey Angela, what's up? Not unusual that not normally you call me, but is it late? Uh, is something you can help you with? Yes, you know, you know that Ray had been bullied in school, right? Cause of Macy? All those rumors and lies. Yeah, I know that he tried to stop them and yeah, he told me earlier that he was considered to drop out of high school based on that. Say what now? You're kidding, right? No, I'm not. But I managed to convince him not to. Oh man, that's just. Okay. There must be something we can do for him. But despite how much we try to convince the others, it wouldn't work. It would be our words against hers. We need proof. Well, I have an idea. Oh? Well, if we could do something to help Ray to reveal how that Macy's a liar and all those things are, she told was complete lies. Hmm. You know what? I'm on board with this plan. I will help you. Thanks. But make sure that you don't tell Ray about this. You know, I prefer to have he not being aware of this if they would eventually backfire just in case. I hear you. Don't worry. And even though after this conversation, Leah was also aware that Angela and Ray were now officially dating. For the next 2 weeks, Angela and Leo, either together or alone, tried to gather enough proof of Macy's lies by recording her voice in secret. If they were in the hallways when she was just talking or something, but it turned out that none of the other people who had been told about these lies wasn't even aware they were lies. But one day, but they even had to even ask some of their other people about who believed in Ray. But one day, when Angela was in the hallway and Macy was by herself, she walked up to her with a hidden with a hidden tape recorder to make sure. So, Macy, can I talk to you? Ah, Angela, what can I do for you? You had to stop at these false rumors about Ray. Oh, is that about what you want to talk about? Just tell me. Is those rumors true? Of course not. I mean, I just made them for to just hurt him. Why? It's because he said no to be your boyfriend? Of course. When he said no, how do you think I felt? I mean, you barely had known him for just one day by the time. How do you think he would even said yes because you don't even know each other? But why would you even ask him that just after just one day? Because he was just handsome. He is the most handsome guy, but when he said no, it hurt my feeling and it felt also that like I've been betrayed. How would anyone dare say no to me? I mean, I'm beautiful. Even some of the guys call me a model or even a princess or like that. But you, compared to you and me, you are just plain looking. Well, I mean, is it true that you spread these lies because of that? Well, yeah, but no matter you try to tell anyone, they won't even believe you. Alright, I just wanted that clear. And then she walked away. Now they have enough proof. So the next day, they went over to Angela and Leo went over to Ray's home and they told him about this. And they went to the principal the next day and they asked him if he had time for a moment. Ah, yeah, well, I don't have any appointments at the moment. Well, come in. What can I do for you? Well, principal, we have a big issue here at the school. Oh? One particular student is actually being bullied right now. Oh? Wait a minute. So you say bullying? Yes. Do you have any proof of this? Of these allegations? Yes, we have. And then they actually told the principal all the bullying. First they told him about it, but that itself wouldn't be much of proof, he said. But then when Angela said that they have recordings, or at least audio recordings, they each one of them, Leo and Angela, did play their own versions, including the one that Angela had recently with Macy. After the principal heard this, he was shocked and angry. Since the school has non-polling policy to begin with, he was so furious. He calls Angela's parents to come to school, and after that, he calls Macy to his office, and he had Ray and Angela, including Leo, waiting outside, and when Macy showed up, her parents showed up also eventually only about a moment later. She was at first confused why she was brought to the principal's office, but when her parents showed up, she was even more confused and a little bit scared. But when the principal told Ray, Angela, and Leo to walk coming back inside, and this had been enough for them thought. Principal told her that simply her bullying is now over. But Macy denied that she had done any such bullying to Ray or any student in the first place. When she demanded to know what kind of proof they have on the first, Angela said that they have enough proof of her bullying of Ray. But they would be like their words against hers. So in that matter, she said, if there isn't any other proof, then she can just leave. But Angela revealed they had recordings. In fact, even Ray had also provided with some additional evidence. Himself had tried to talk to Macy a couple of times, and even despite she said by a low tone in a voice of her when he tried each time to convince her to stop. But each recording proves that she did actually confess what she did was the truth. And with other additional evidence that Leo and Angela provided. Macy's denies or involvement was clearly that she was involved. And when this all recording was going on, Macy turned pale. But her dad's face turns bright red of anger. And after the recording was over, he yells at her, "You! How could you do this again?" It turned out that Macy had been doing the same thing back at her old school, bullying a number of students. And after she was expelled or exposed for being the bully, and she was expelled. But due to the fact that her dad was being transferred to a different branch of the company, well, at least that was have nothing to do with her being expelled. But since she was going to be transferred, they would have to move to a different city. And her parents thought maybe transfer to a new high school could give her a second chance. But it turned out, they told her if she doesn't give to accept this second chance from her behavior, if she repeats that again, she will be sent to a school for troubled kids or teenagers. She did plead and plead that would never happen, but it was all lies. She even lied to her own parents about this. Well, eventually, she was taken away from the school by her parents after she apologized to Ray. It later revealed that she was expelled from the school, and of course, she was sent to this school for troubled teenagers. After all this came to clear, the other students who had believed in Macy's side the whole time came to realize it was just a lies. All bunch of lies. They all apologized to Ray. And Ray wasn't even mad at them. He was mostly mad at Macy. After all, she was the one who spread those false rumors in the first place. But he simply told the others they should have known that he is not the type of person who is simply doing things like this. They had known him, some of them actually had known him since middle school. So they probably should have known about it. But they were, some of the guys was actually so blinded of love. So, but he eventually, well, accepted apologies. Eventually the peace returned back to the school. Both Angela and Ray finished high school and both went to the same college. Ray wanted to study software programming. And while there, Angela studied management, since she was offered to join her dad's software company, including Ray. And they later finished college and it actually got married about 2 years after, because during the senior year, Ray proposed to Angela, and she said yes. They had this small wedding with some close friends and family, but it was just a happy time. About a year later, they had a daughter which they named Naomi. 3 years later, they had a son which they named Jake. Both Angela and Ray was just happy to be with the one they loved the most in the whole world. Considering what they all went through back in high school, even for Ray, who was still at back then was clueless that the fact that Angela had such strong feelings for him, and that he had no idea. After all, she kept her feelings for him in a secret. But it later turned out that Leo was the only one who knew about these feelings that she had for Ray. In fact, she had even told him about it back in high school. Even during the first year of high school, she had even asked Leo how she could confess her feelings for Ray. He just told her simply to be honest about her feelings. But it took her at least a bit more time until she did reveal her feelings for Ray. But despite that, she was just happy she did, and that he even also confessed his feelings for her. Despite that at first he didn't have any attention or that he wasn't interested in dating. But it eventually changed. That moment actually happened when Angela confessed her feelings. But despite all this, Ray was really confused and didn't understand why at first, why Macy went so far of spreading such bad rumors about him in order to damage his reputation as a good guy at the school, or just simply brand him as a bad guy that he was. Well, at first he had no idea why at first, but later he would later find out that simply because he said no to Macy to be her boyfriend, and the fact he had no interest in dating in the first place at all. It was just another thing about it. But he was just like dumbfounded. What, that was the main reason why, and that Macy started spreading those rumors. Well, he had no idea why in the first place. Why did he even go so far? But the last time he heard about her, that was when he, shortly after she was expelled, that she was in up this school for troubled teenagers. But that was the last time he even heard about it. Well, based on from a mutual friend, turned out Macy left town after she finished that school and never came back. But despite all this, Ray is happy to be with the one that he loved the most, and he treasures his family and love for Angela more than anything. Same thing for Angela. She treasures her love for Ray for more than anything. And this is how Ray and Angela found the true love, got a big family together. The end.